I'm going to switch to English if that's okay with you. It's great to be here presenting about a topic that I'm really very passionate about, which is technology. And I feel I'm a bit lucky that I started my career in 1996 with just the start of technology, and it's just amazing, what we are living today. And I like to start my presentation by talking a little bit about the world we're living in today. The clicker is not working, yeah. So I was actually watching a movie with with my family last week called Pixels. I don't know if you've seen it recently, but it just talks about these old arcade characters that came in and invaded the world, the Pac-Mans and the Donkey Kong. And I was telling my son some stories about when I started my career in in 1996, where we used to have one PC in the office in the corner connected to the internet, and we used to take turns to go and check email and browse the internet. I also remember the days when we started my gaming life. Also, we used to have to wait for 5 minutes on a tape for a 64K game to load, and when it didn't load, it was like you have to do it all over again. And it's it's just fascinating today, when you're connected all the time with your mobile, with everything. So just to reflect on on that, there has never been a greater force of change in human history than that of technology. It's changing the way we live, it's changing the way we communicate, we do business, it's changing everything. And all what we are seeing today is just a new beginning for a new revolution that's going to happen. And it's going to happen at a much faster rate than what we've seen the internet and what we've seen technology has done so far. So let's just try to look forward and look into the future and see by 2020 there will be around 50 billion devices connected to the internet. If we think today, we have our PCs and laptops and iPads and phones connected to the internet, by 2020 we're going to have everything connected to the internet. Your toothbrush, your TV, your car, your washing machine. It's all about this new revolution for these traditional devices all of a sudden getting some sensing and computing and communication technology and start to have this digital voice. And by 2020 also, we're going to have around 40 zettabytes of information in the world. 3.5 unique zettabytes of information will be created this year. That is more than all the information created in the world in the last 5,000 years. Can you imagine a world where everything is connected to the internet and tapping into all this data? And over the next 24 months, 50% of companies will become digital businesses. I think my friend, earlier was talking about Airbnb and Uber. And we've all seen how these technologies have changed the world. And, we're going to see a lot more of them. And, Gartner predicts that over the next 24 months, 50% of the companies will become digital businesses. But just to try to elaborate on this digital business concept, if you remember, in the old days where a traditional business, we used to try to use automation to enhance our ERP and enhance our accounting. And then came, the age of the internet, and everybody wanted to put a web address on the internet to try to market their products and try to give information to visitors online. And then it took no time, and then everybody started to understand that that can be used for business. And then the e-business type of portals and commerce was invented. And then mobile and social came. And then we started to actually go to the consumers and try to push and market our products everywhere at any time. And now this new revolution of the digital business that's coming, that's going to include all the Internet of Things, that's going to include 3D technology, that's going to include sensing, that's going to include smart technology, which is all about, the conference that we are doing today. And we're going to see this, line between the physical and the digital start to blur. And everything is going to start to be connected. Just to give you an example of how to, visualize a business moment in the digital age. So let's take, for example, a taxi crash. I was, coming from the airport last night, and the taxi driver was a little bit driving, a bit too crazy. So I visualized this, this example. Imagine a taxi crashed, and then the people that are sitting in the taxi are actually wearing some wearable clothes that have some sensing. So in case somebody got hurt, automatically that technology is going to connect to their phones and going to call the ambulance to come on site. The car is going to have some sensing technology that's immediately going to call the police and going to say, an accident happened in that place. The car is going to be smart enough to understand what had happened in the car and immediately place a business opportunity for all the car garage owners to start to bid for fixing this car. And within minutes of the car crash, already you know where the car is going to go, how much it's going to cost. At the same time, from the government perspective, they have access to a video that was installed in the vicinity. They know exactly what happened. They know exactly who at fault is, and this creates a lot of opportunities for a lot of businesses. So if you can imagine that that's going to affect every single sector and every single type of business, and we have to be ready and we have to be innovative to be able to reach that level. And then the impact of this digital technology is going to have a lot of responsibility on us as business executives and IT executives. And if I ask you today, what is your number one directive as an IT executive? Is it to keep the data center lights on? Is it to make sure that the workstations are always on and the users can access the services that we've created for them and the applications that are running online? Or is it about information security? What do you think? What is the number one directive of every single person in IT today? Or how the CEO and how the business views us? I think it's all about making money. Right? That's what the business wants IT to do. And it's a very narrow directive, but making money in terms of improving the customer experience, getting new customers and making sure that our customers are, buying and transacting with the company. It's about IT creating new and innovative ways to generate more revenue using the digital moments and the digital things that we've spoken about. That's what IT should be doing. It's about mining the data, the big amount of data that is going to be available for the business to make better decisions in terms of forecasting, in terms of marketing, and so on. And last but not least, it's doing more with less, and it's improving about efficiency of all the infrastructure and all the services that we've had. That's what the business is asking us as IT to be doing. But unfortunately, IT executives are not doing this, or at least they're not perceived to be doing this. That's why, conferences like this about education, about enlightening, it's about all this change that we have to embrace to, and moving from our technology box into this digital world that's blurring the physical and the digital world. And just another example of that is, shadow IT. You've all heard of shadow IT. Shadow IT is basically when a marketing organization comes to the IT department, they say, we want this application, we want this, to launch this service. And the IT guys say, no, we can't do that because we have a big backlog of project, or it's not secure, to do that. And what does the marketing department do? They go to Amazon, they set up a whole data center, and they start to work and they start to develop applications without the knowledge of IT. And that is because IT is not innovating enough to be able to meet the business needs that we've had. We've all seen this new role of the chief digital officer that's coming into the organization. This is what IT executives should be doing within companies. But the business is bringing these people, this new generation that is coming from the digital age, to help all companies transform into the digital future. And at the end of the day, if we need to keep this innovation and we need to keep this revenue, we have to balance rewards and risk. And I remember the days where we used to say IT was an enabler to the business. We all said the internet's going to change everything. And then, these days I hear a lot of people talking about IT and business must partner. But in reality, we're going to soon live a world where the business is going to become the IT. And to secure and protect your business, information security is an investment for what's happening in the world today.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay.